let's talk
about what Loon did.
Let's talk about what Loon did.
Okay.
Getting your record deal. You went
so he came back to New York.
We
decided his rhymes. So
right, but you were part of a rap group called Crime Family.
Yeah, that was me and my man Nitty.
Right.
Yeah, me and my man Nitty, and we was making moves underground. You know what I'm saying? We used to do, Maria's Davis joint.
Yeah.
Shout out Maria Davis.
Maria Davis.
Definitely. Maria's, it's sad that people don't really give her flowers, because she definitely created a platform for a lot of people.
We definitely need to make that happen.
Definitely.
Definitely need to make that.
I'm talking about, you wouldn't even really caught the full effect of Jay 22 Tools
if it wasn't
for Maria Davis. I was there when he did that. I don't know if they Yeah, they recreated it probably for the album, but the actual night he did that, standing there with a bottle of Chris in his hand, leather trench coat, it was like Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, like it was like this was that circuit. These were the frequent flyers, you know what I'm saying? They came through this circuit.
Right.
And to be there, at that time, that was a success. If you never got signed, or never did anything, if you
remembered that night.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, my story is about evolution. It's about growing, you know what I'm saying? So from that, we got signed to Tommy Boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fat Man Scoop signed us. He was an A&R there. After he signed us, he left. So now the only person that understands what we trying to do just left. They had some dude named Ian Steeman from the UK.
Ian Steeman. That's a real name.
That's a real name. He was the A&R on our project. Fresh out of UK. Probably graduated from Oxford. Who knows? But he was in no way, shape, or form
prepared to
deal with a group named Crime Family that had an album called Harlem'S. This is in 96.
96.
Mace came out in 97. You know what I'm saying? And I remember doing Maria Davis, those circus. Betha used to be in the audience. He was studying. Like anybody at that time. Because you gotta remember, like, Blink was in BBO. We had a lot of little, groups coming out of Harlem. We had BBO. It was Blink, Beef, White Bread. I think Mase'S and BBO, you know what I'm saying, periodically before they went and did Children of Corn. You had Major League, my man Fute, and Norm. We had our little, this was the first time, because you gotta remember, if you look at historically, Harlem, we were the backdrop to hip hop. We wasn't, Curtis Blow was us. That was it.
Right.
Like, Curtis Blow, Kool Mo D. You know what I'm saying?
And Queens and Brooklyn.
Y'all was the ones that had abundance of rappers. Yeah. We was the ones that came wearing the big coats, and like we was the promotional vehicle.
Right.
For hip hop.
Right.
Harlem.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dougie Fresh. Yeah, Ted, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was, that's the role we played. So when this little surgence of Harlem rap group started coming about, it was just like, it was big for all of us, because we all knew each other. We all knew of each other, knew each other. It was just like, it wasn't even as competitive as it probably was in Brooklyn or Queens, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
We were just happy to be doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then when it got real really when Herb McGruff got signed. When Gruff got signed to Uptown, it was real now. It's like, this ain't, we ain't even playing no more.
Yeah.
You getting checks for this stuff. Like, there's deals involved.
Right.
He did the single with Monique. It was like, we looking at Gruff one in the video, like, oh man, this is.
How did you feel about that?
I was happy.
So some people felt like Gruff wasn't being Gruff.
Well, Gruff was being what was allowed at the time. You had to have radio records. You had to. That was a contingency. You know what I mean? You had to have it.
Have
Well,
that.
a label not gonna even sign you unless you got at
Unless
least
you
one,
got a
two
label.
singles in the pipe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was a contingency just to get signed. You know?
The one you care about, want to know about your whereabouts. Then I dissed you, so now I miss you.
Yeah.
Shout out to McGruff.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
bruh.
it's crazy.
Word.
It's
I was
all the
happy,
kids, but
man.
yo,
My
bro.
man Furs on me back. Shout out to Gruff.
Yeah.
There was
There
a
was Gruff
time.
was outside.
Yeah.
Gruff
For
was
real.
outside, B. So like to see that was
was
big
like-
for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Coley by far was the nicest dude in Harlem. I don't care what nobody say. Big L.
Big L.
Call him Coley
Yeah.
on. Like Coley was the best.
Coleon. No, I get
He
it.
was the best
Mm-hmm.
rapper that ever come out of Harlem in our generation. I don't think nobody from Harlem would disagree with that. If they do, they being unjust. You know what I'm saying?
Telling more about them than they are about the scene.
Yeah.
Telling on themselves.
Yeah. That
So-
was vicious, man.
There was a time when I remember in that era, getting a guy from Harlem became the thing for like every label. It's like everybody wanted to get at least one Harlem dude. Every crew had to have a dude from Harlem. Started with Heavy D getting McGruff. And next thing you know, Diddy gets Mace. And
No, L was digging in the crates.
L but L was
That's digging in the crates.
yeah, but I don't.
He was the first.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's why I don't count it. Because when he did it, it wasn't about getting a Harlem dude. Lord Finesse just got somebody who was nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He didn't get him because he was from Harlem. He got him because he was
nice.
He was a beast.
Right.
But then a Harlem MC became the thing to go get for every label and every crew. They seemed to, that picked up with McGruff. No,
Yeah.
nobody's disputing that.
Yeah.
Him putting Harlem on the map in that way. Nobody's disputing that at all. But he didn't make it. Wasn't the de jour when L got signed. It was because he was the out of everybody rapping, and as much of a beast as Lord Finesse was himself, for him to get another guy and be like, okay, this dude,
Yeah, that was big.
yeah, passing
That
the
was
torch
big.
to L
Now,
was crazy.
you're amongst all this. Like you said, Bethel was there. He was studying.
Yeah, he was there.
Now, what do you say to people who thought that you were his replacement?
I think that, and I mentioned this somewhere before, how people just try to find a way to identify with something
Right.
from something else. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Harlem, we had our own kind of swag. Mace eventually became the first to do it mainstream. Had it been me, probably the story would have been the other way around.
Right.
Mace is, following Loon or vice versa. Because even like when Fab did it, I never thought Fab sounded like Mace. You know what I'm saying? I thought
did.
Fab, you did?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I thought he had his own. I think he had. I always believed, and still to this day, I always thought Fab had his own style. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I got mad love for Fab, but when I heard that Nori freestyle on Clue, I was like, yo, Mace's body in this shit right there. And
Oh,
it was
yeah?
Fab. And
Wow.
it was Fab.
It's the monotone.
Yeah, it was just that
Yeah,
tone. It was that
that's it.
tone, like,
They kind
You know what I mean?
made that.
It's the
yeah.
monotone.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I never discredit Mace. Like, Mace is nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mace was nice back then. I don't know too much about what he's doing now, because I really don't listen. Like I said, I don't listen to music, but I would never discredit what he was able to come out and accomplish. I think the discrepancy stemmed from Harlem World.
Did y'all have a relationship? Because you had the Harlem World with Crime Families, right?
No, we really. I mean, I didn't grow up with Mace. I didn't really know Mace like that.
Right.
growing up, you know what I'm saying?
So having the Harlem World
I
title-
knew Blink longer than I knew Mace or anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew Cam before I knew Mace.
Was Blink the bridge between y'all? Was it?
I'm the bridges in there.
Yeah.
When it ain't about me getting talk, but it's
Right.
I'm the bridge in there.
So when Mace came out with the Harlem World title, did you feel a way about it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you talking about no gun, no kung fu, no nothing. You just stuck me up. Like, basically, like, I felt like, damn, like, it was already known. Y'all was pushing one way. Me and Nitty was pushing one way. Everybody had, you know, some uniqueness that was going to eventually establish Harlem. Whoever get there first, it didn't matter, but we all were pushing a certain direction.
Your own
you know
thing.
what I'm saying? Harlem World to us at the time, as far as Crime Family, was the foundation of what we represented. You know what I'm saying? We were coming from a place of, there is no other reason why we doing this. You know what I'm saying? There's no other reason why we doing this. We doing this to establish Harlem. No different than BBO, no different than Children of Corn. But we actually, you know, we created a vehicle for it, you know? And when Mace, you know, took the Harlem World.
You didn't feel like it was coincidence by no ways.
No. I knew it wasn't no coincidence.
Did you address them?
Huh?
Did you address them about it?
You knew it because Blink told you?
Don't.
Nah. Nah. Yeah. Nah, definitely, like, it wasn't because of Blink.
Right.
Like, I knew that it wasn't no coincidence. And I did a couple Ron G joints addressing it. That's how I addressed it, because I couldn't get in the same space as Mace at that time.
Right.
You know? So I took, you know, Ron G. I did a couple joints of Ron G going in. I was at the end of the song talking crazy before anybody ever heard Pop, like spending another extra 5 minutes on the rundown. Yeah, I was doing all that on Ron G, you know. And when we did finally get to share space, it was mediated by my man Trell. Trell died. But Trell was from 40th Street. Trell knew me, you know what I'm saying, for being outside, but Mace had brought him, you know, in proximity of his like situation. And when he came up with the Harlem World idea, he used that bridge at the time was Trell. You know what I'm saying? Trell came and see me like, yo, son, trying to put together this Harlem World joint. He wanted to be you, Big L, Cam, Gruff. So in my mind, I'm like,
Hold on.
that was the original.
The original Harlem World was supposed to be
This is how it was originally presented to me.
Big L, Cameron, and Herb McGruff.
Herb McGruff. That's how it was originally presented to me. But at the time, I don't think he was going to ever be able to get or establish an allegiance with none of those people I named, because whatever relationship he may have soured or tarnished or blemished, whatever, it wasn't going to happen.
This hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.